Google just secretly disclosed what it's buying with its money. And I don't mean buying servers or cloud infrastructure or AI talent. I mean stocks, public stocks, on the open market, just like you and me. Every quarter, institutional investors with over $100 million in assets are legally required to file what's called a 13F with the SEC. That's a public document that shows exactly which stocks they own. And Google's parent company, Alphabet, just dropped their Q1 2026 13F. And what's inside it is genuinely surprising. We're not talking about a company that casually dabbles in equities. Alphabet's reported portfolio just jumped from $2.58 billion to $4.02 billion in a single quarter. And buried inside that filing are 3 new positions that most retail investors haven't even heard of. One of them they poured over $1 billion into, $1 billion, into a single stock most people associate with farmers and traders. Today on Future AI Stocks, I'm going to break down all 3 of those picks. I'm going to tell you why Google bought each one, what the financial data actually says about them right now, and whether copying Google's moves is actually a smart play or a trap. And before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed to Future AI Stocks yet, hit that button now and turn on notifications. We break down smart money moves like this every single week. Let's get into it. Before we get to the stocks, let me explain what a 13F filing actually means, because most people misunderstand it. A 13F is not a real-time document. There's a lag. These filings cover holdings as of the end of each quarter, and institutions have 45 days to file. So when you're reading Google's Q1 2026 13F, you're looking at what they held on March 31st, 2026. Prices have moved since then. Positions may have changed. Why does this matter? Because blind copying of 13F filings is one of the most dangerous things a retail investor can do. The smart use of 13F data is idea generation. You look at what institutions are buying, you understand the thesis behind the position, and then you do your own research before making a move. With that said, Google isn't some random hedge fund. They have access to data analytics and computational power that no retail investor comes close to matching. When they deploy $1 billion into a single stock, that's not accidental, that's conviction. And it's worth understanding why. Before we go further, here's the required disclosure. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing in this analysis constitutes investment advice. Always do your own research and consult with a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Stock markets carry significant risk. You can lose your entire investment. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Let's start with the most important move in the filing, because this one deserves the most attention. Google poured over $1 billion into CME Group in Q1 2026. They bought approximately 3.48 million shares, and at the end of the quarter, that position was valued at $1.29 billion, making it 25.63% of their entire disclosed equity portfolio. They went from 0 shares to the single largest holding in their portfolio in 1 quarter. Now, here's what makes this interesting. CME Group is not a tech company. It's not an AI company. It's not a semiconductor play. CME Group is the world's largest derivatives marketplace. They operate the futures exchanges where traders buy and sell contracts on interest rates, equity indexes, commodities, energy, foreign exchange, agricultural products, and increasingly, crypto. Why would Google, a technology empire, suddenly pour $1 billion into a financial market infrastructure company? Let me break it down. First, the business model. CME Group operates as a toll road. Every single futures contract traded on their platform generates fee revenue for CME, regardless of whether the trade is profitable. In April 2026 alone, CME recorded average daily volume of 25.9 million contracts. That's 25.9 million transactions generating fees every single day. When markets are volatile, and right now markets are extraordinarily volatile, trading volumes go up, and CME's revenue goes up with it. The financial profile is exceptional. CME generates roughly $12.7 billion in annual revenue, with a net profit margin of 33.66%. Their EPS is $11.75. They pay a quarterly dividend of $1.30 per share, and they just declared a new dividend with an ex-dividend date of June 9th, 2026. This is a cash-generating machine. Second, and this is the part that almost nobody's talking about, CME is making a massive pivot into AI infrastructure. In May 2026, CME partnered with a company called Silicon Data to launch futures contracts for computing power, specifically GPU compute rate futures. Think about that. As AI infrastructure demand explodes, the cost of renting GPU compute time becomes a major financial variable for every tech company. CME is building the market infrastructure to hedge that risk. And here's where Google's investment becomes clear. Google has more AI infrastructure exposure than almost any company on Earth. They're running massive data centers. They're buying enormous quantities of GPU compute. If CME launches a liquid market for GPU compute futures, Google benefits both as a hedger and as someone who owns the exchange running those markets. This is strategic positioning, not just financial investment. From a stock perspective, CME is currently trading around $257 to $260 per share. Morgan Stanley has a price target of $353. That's roughly 37% upside from current levels. 12 analysts have a consensus buy rating. The stock has pulled back from a 52-week high of $320, meaning Google bought at elevated prices and is currently sitting at a loss in this position. That said, Google is playing a 3 to 5 year thesis here, not a quarterly trade. Now let's talk about the second position, which has a very different narrative attached to it. Alphabet initiated a new position in PayPal, roughly 3.1 million shares worth approximately $67 million. Compared to the CME position, this is smaller, more exploratory. But the timing is interesting. PayPal today is a completely different story from PayPal in 2021. Back then, the stock was trading above $300. Today, it's sitting around $40 per share. That's a roughly 85% decline from its peak. And that decline is the entire thesis here. PayPal's business didn't collapse. The stock collapsed because of valuation. In 2021, investors priced PayPal like it was a high-growth rocket ship forever. When growth slowed, as it inevitably does for any maturing business, the stock got destroyed. But the underlying operation, still processing hundreds of billions in payment volume, still operating Venmo, Braintree, and global checkout infrastructure, still growing revenue, just not at 2021 levels. Why did Google buy it? 2 reasons. First, valuation. PayPal is currently trading at a market cap of around $39.8 billion. A company processing global payments at scale with established brand recognition across Venmo and PayPal is arguably cheap at that number. They're trading at a significant discount to their business fundamentals, not because the business is broken, but because sentiment collapsed. Second, synergies. Google runs Google Pay. Google operates one of the largest digital advertising platforms on Earth, and their ability to track purchase behavior is a core competitive moat. PayPal's data on digital transactions, consumer purchasing patterns, and merchant relationships is enormously valuable. There's a real possibility that the Google position in PayPal is at least partially strategic, exploring deeper integration between Google Pay and PayPal's infrastructure. Now, here's the honest risk. PayPal faces real competition. Apple Pay is growing, Stripe has expanded aggressively. Cash App is eating Venmo's market share in the younger demographics. Google's $67 million position is a bet that PayPal's brand and infrastructure are durable enough to survive that competitive pressure. That's not a guarantee. Current analyst consensus puts average price targets in the $60 to $70 range for PayPal, roughly 35% to 55% upside from current levels. The 52-week high is $79.50, meaning there's historical precedent for a significant move upward if sentiment shifts. Now here's where it gets genuinely interesting, because this third pick is the one that most people will have never heard of, and it's also the one with the most complicated story. Google's portfolio reveals a position of approximately 3.8 million shares in Ethos Technologies, ticker life, worth roughly $42 million at the time of filing. Ethos Technologies is an AI-powered life insurance platform. They use technology to simplify the insurance application process, making it faster, cheaper, and more accessible to consumers. Here's the financial case. In Q1 2026, Ethos reported revenue of $193 million, a 104% increase year over year. They activated 373 new insurance policies in that single quarter, representing 84% year-over-year growth. EPS came in at 0.38 per share, absolutely crushing analyst estimates that expected a loss of 0.11 per share. Goldman Sachs initiated coverage with a buy rating. Deutsche Bank raised their price target to $30. Baird has an outperform rating. The AI angle is real. Ethos just launched a native application on ChatGPT's App Store. They're embedding AI into the insurance, underwriting, and distribution process in a way that legacy insurers simply can't match quickly. And in a market where life insurance penetration in the US is still surprisingly low, the opportunity for growth is substantial. Google's investment history with Ethos runs through their GV venture fund. This is not a new relationship. GV has backed Ethos for years through private investment rounds. The public market position in the 13F reflects a continuation of that existing thesis now that Ethos is publicly traded. But here's where you need to pay close attention, because this is exactly why blindly copying 13F filings is dangerous. After Google's Q1 13F was filed, additional public records emerged showing that Alphabet Holdings LLC, a Google-affiliated entity, actually sold approximately 147,552 shares of Ethos Technologies in mid-May 2026 at prices ranging from $22.81 to $24.74 per share. That's $346 million in realized sales after the filing date. This means that by the time you read the 13F that shows Google holding life, Google was already trimming that position. The filing showed what they owned in March. By May, they were selling. This is not a reason to panic on life. The stock's fundamental story, 104% revenue growth, EPS beats, Goldman Sachs coverage, is still intact. And Google-affiliated GV funds still hold millions of shares indirectly. But it is a perfect example of why 13F data requires careful interpretation, not blind copying. The stock is trading in the $20 to $30 range with a 52-week range of $9.45 to $32.50. Average analyst price target is around $25.63, suggesting modest upside from current levels with significant analyst conviction on the longer-term growth story. Now let's answer the actual question. Should you copy these moves? Here's my honest breakdown. CME Group is the most compelling pick on this list. The business model is exceptional. The AI compute futures angle is genuinely new and underappreciated. The dividend yield provides income while you wait for the thesis to play out. And Google's $1 billion position with a 25% portfolio concentration signals real conviction. The stock is down from its highs, meaning you're buying at better prices than Google did. If you believe AI infrastructure spending is going to generate massive volatility in compute costs, and the evidence suggests it will, CME's pivot into GPU futures makes this more than just a defensive financial infrastructure play. PayPal is more speculative. The valuation case is real, but the competitive threat is real too. If you believe PayPal's brand and transaction infrastructure are durable, and they very well might be, the discount to fundamentals is interesting, but this is a value play that requires patience. It could take years for sentiment to recover. Ethos Technologies is the highest risk. Yes, the fundamental growth is explosive. 104% revenue growth is not something you see every day. But the small position size from Google, combined with their subsequent selling, suggests this is a speculative allocation rather than a high conviction bet. It's worth watching, but it demands much more due diligence before sizing a position. Here's the macro takeaway that ties all three of these together. Google's 13F isn't really about three random stocks. It's about a consistent theme: infrastructure for the financial system in an AI-driven economy. CME builds the derivatives markets that hedge AI infrastructure costs. PayPal processes the digital transactions in a world moving toward digital-first commerce. Ethos uses AI to modernize an industry, insurance, that has been slow to innovate. Google isn't chasing momentum. They're not buying NVIDIA at 40x earnings or loading up on AI software startups at sky-high valuations. They're looking at quality businesses at reasonable prices that benefit from long-term secular trends. That's the approach the smart money is taking right now, and it's worth paying attention to. The lesson isn't buy what Google buys. The lesson is when the smartest capital allocators in the world pivot to financial infrastructure, AI-powered fintech, and market-making infrastructure, there's a reason. Understanding that reason is how you find the real alpha. If this analysis gave you a new way to think about smart money positioning, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now. Future AI Stocks drops institutional level analysis every single week. Supply chain plays, 13F breakdowns, AI infrastructure deep dives, and you do not want to miss it. Drop a comment below. Which of these three stocks interest you most? CME, PayPal, or Ethos? Are you actually going to copy Google's move, or are you going to wait? Tell me your thesis. I read every single comment. And share this video with someone who thinks financial analysis means watching which AI app got funding this week. Show them the smart money is looking somewhere else entirely. I am John A.G., and we'll see you in the next one.